I'm very, very glad to see you this evening, and it's wonderful to see you coming. We started when we were very few, but now it's growing. Hey, Zibidai, you also came. Now, tonight the story I'm going to tell you is about a boy. Actually, it's a story that I got from our friends in Raising Voices. Because it is true, I'm not going to tell you the actual name of the boy. I will call him Kizito. It is not his name, but I will call him Kizito. I'm changing the place, I'm changing the people involved and the boy, so that we understand the story, but we don't put the boy in trouble. Is that all right? So I'm calling the boy Kizito. Kizito is a 14-year-old boy. But I would really want you to listen to this story carefully. It's a story that could happen to you. It's a story that could happen to your child, to your brother. And I want you to consider, if it happened to you, what would you do? Huh? This story, how does the story make you feel? Now, Kizito is an ordinary boy from an ordinary family, like all our families around. And 14 years old, he goes to school. So this morning, Kizito wakes up, prepares to go to school, of course makes sure that he has fetched the water, and finally goes to school. Meets the other kids, they play, and it's time to go to class. The first lesson is mathematics. Hey, you can see those who fear the mathematics. The first lesson is mathematics. The kids are in class, ready for their mathematics, and their teacher, I'm calling the teacher Mr. Odeke. Their teacher, Mr. Odeke, when he comes, he is in a very bad mood. He comes in really angry. And now the kids know trouble. He looks at them, and he had taken the books for marking the previous night. He just throws the books down. And he says, "You idiots. You fools. I spend all my precious time teaching you. And none of you can get 10 points, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You know what he does? Hey, and gets the one that is well seasoned. Mr. Deke gets into the class. Now, of course, when he was beating, it was indiscriminate. Now, poor Kizito was one of the kids who were hit on the head. And Kizito, when he was young, he had been burnt by a candle on the head. And he had a small scar, which had already recovered. But now, tonight, the stick landed in the scar. Some blood came out, and the teacher was so angry, and he was telling them how stupid they are. 2 days later, 3 days later, Kizito's wound started becoming big.
A wound on the head.
A wound on the head. The scar now becomes a wound. It started swelling.
Oh.
And Kizito became very uncomfortable. He started coming late to school. At school, he couldn't do his work properly because now the head was swelling. He couldn't even see properly. Even chewing the food became difficult. And Odeke was saying, now, any of you, if you fail your lessons, you will become like Kizito. Hey! And he had his, and you know, he would tell them that and actually laugh. Spare the rod and spoil the child. And poor Kizito, the head was becoming bigger and bigger. The wound was becoming deeper and deeper.
Malicious teacher.
So, poor Kizito, the wound became worse. Unfortunately, his parents were poor. They didn't have enough money to take him to hospital. So the mother started getting some herbs and putting on, but the wound became worse and worse. They tried different clinics, but of course they didn't have the money, so they sold the few chicken they had. Money was not enough. They continued being referred to bigger dispensaries and bigger hospitals. They sold the few goats. The only one cow they had in the compound was sold for the treatment of Kizito. And Mr. Deke continued teaching, beating other children. It's a year now. Kizito is just at home. What the father had done, after Kizito was staying at home for so long, was to buy him a small radio to entertain him. So, Kizito would just lie at home and listen. And one day, he had a program about children who are beaten. And if they are beaten, the cases are supposed to be reported to police.
Children's rights.
Yes. So when the father came to see him as usual, Kizito said, now, Father, please report my case to police. Now, the father did not know previously that he could report such a case to police. This was the first time he was hearing that beating children, injuring them was criminal and was punishable by the law. The father had run around to the LOCs looking for help. He had run to school, and you know what the headmaster told him?
No.
The headmaster said, those children of yours, we try to help them. The teachers are trying to assist them, but the children are stubborn. Teachers are sacrificing. They are paid badly, but they are trying to help you. Yeah, the kids were now to blame. And he said, anyway, if you had reported this case earlier, maybe I would have done anything. But now you took too long, it's too late.
That school had been messed up by that.
It's not only that school. It's most of the schools where we send our children. Therefore, when this issue of reporting to police came to their mind, although it had taken long, they realized that it's never too late. If you know someone, if this has happened to you, if it is happening to other children, it's never too late to report the matter to police. For now, that's the story I wanted to tell.